Moving on, we're at step 6, preparing your floss, and this is Midnight Pumpkin, our stitch along project for fall 2020, hosted by Laura Bosma, your stitching host, and the Southeastern Quilt and Textile Museum. There are 6 threads. We're going to talk about floss first. So these are the 5 flosses that we're going to use. And these are DMC color variations. It's amongst some of my most favorite thread. If you decide you like it, if you've ordered the Floss in Notion kit and you decide you like it, I would say search it out and grab the colors quick, because I do believe that DMC is slowly discontinuing them. I may have had to substitute the purple for one of their newer colors, variegated colors, but it is so close that it's going to be a non-problem. And we're only using the purple just a little bit, or the violet a little bit on here. So how do you prepare from a skein of floss to a usable? First and foremost, when you go after using your floss, believe it or not, you can use it as 1 thread, 2 threads, 3 threads, 4 threads, 5 threads, or 6 threads. There are 6 threads there. The only time I ever really opt for 6 threads, honestly, is if I want to make a colonial or a French knot using all 6 threads, just because it goes faster. Other than that, I'm usually going to opt for either using 2 threads or 3 threads, and then sometimes 1 thread. Because of the large size of these motifs, we're going to peel down this project to 3 strands of floss. I'm going to go ahead and do the green because I think you're going to be able to see it the best. And so what I need you to do is first identify where the ends are. Sometimes they're easy to find. I believe I've got one here. And sometimes they're harder to find. I believe I have my second one here. I'm hoping that I'm going to prove true here. I'm going to actually pull from the longer one, which is where this marking is longer. We'll see. If it starts to not cooperate, I know I pulled the wrong one and I'm going to have to move to this shorter one. But I believe we're pulling the longer one. You just never know. Yep, that's the one that works. And I want to go about 18 to 24 inches. If you're not familiar, stitching like this, hand stitching, begin with a shorter thread, and then as you get more and more comfortable, you can opt for longer. So I have cut that at about 18 or so inches. You can see it right here. Now, I need to peel it, and floss is the only thing that you peel. You don't peel pearl cotton, you use it as is. But floss, it's meant to be peeled, again, anywhere from 1 to 6 strands. Obviously 6, you would just use it as is. So I'm going to tell you that you just kind of tap it and kind of loosen up those threads. And I'm going to ask you to be patient and literally do this, pull one at a time. So I've got one isolated here, and I'm going to pull it, and look, it's going to do that, but I'm holding it through all these fingers and pinching it with my thumb and index of the opposite hand until that one pops out, and then notice what happened. That just went back straight again. So there's my first one. I'm going to remember which end I pulled from, and I'm going to lay that to my right, which is over here. Got one strand down. And then I'm going to do it again. I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to isolate one strand, not 2, but 1. Pull that 1 strand, let it all twine up, and then let it go. And I'm going to lay my second one where my first one is, and then finally I'm going to lay down my third one. Again, why are we using 3 strands? Mostly because of the size of the motifs. These are great big motifs, and so I want a little bit more thread presence, a little bit thicker. Now, since there were 6 to begin with, I pulled those 3. I'm going to make them act as 1. So I'll just kind of put them all back together and hope that my ends are relatively even, and just smooth it down and say, you're now 1. And this guy is 1 because there's 3 left, so there's no need in pulling him apart. And that's how you prepare the floss. What you might want to do for this particular project is thread, you might want to thread 2 needles at the same time. Put this inside a needle and then put this inside a needle so that when you stitch through all that thread, you can pick this one up and just keep going. It's a strategy. It's not a must. You can decide what will work best for you. So that is how you prepare floss. Pull it from the longer end of the skein with the longer label, the skew. Get yourself 18 to 24 inches, isolate it, pull one thread at a time, 3 times, and you'll get one set of 3, and then the second set of 3 is just simply left over, and we're ready to go.